Hey everybody, welcome to Redmond's podcast. I've got a special guest with me today, Mike Durant.
Hi everybody.
And today we are going to be discussing the WWE Wrestlemania pay-per-view and the Monday Night Raw show afterwards. Okay, so without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So we had the WrestleMania 32 pre-show, the kickoff, whatever you want to call it. And there was, what was there, 3 matches on that, I think? So the first match was the Usos versus the Dudleys. They had a rivalry going for, how many, like 3 months?
3 to 4, yeah.
Something like that. Just for it to end up on the kickoff show anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent match. Wasn't anything special.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't good. It wasn't terrible. It was just kind of a match.
Dudley's pulled tables. They got put through tables.
Same shit, different day, really.
Yeah, they're getting lackluster.
And then we had the 10 Diva tag team match. The Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde. Got to see Lana wrestle for the first time. I think the first time, right? It was like her in-ring debut.
First or second time. Something like that. I mean, if she has wrestled before, it hadn't been too much.
I will say this, though. She's one of the only divas that has... She's like the only diva in the modern era, at least, to get over with fans without actually wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, all she's been is a manager for Rusev and a manager for Dolph Ziggler at one point. And... like, there was a hashtag We Want Lana and all the crazy stuff. I thought that they were actually gonna kind of highlight Lana in that match, like, just because we've seen all the other ones wrestle so much, and they really didn't. It was just kind of like a big clusterfuck of a match. Yeah,
we were watching it at my buddy's house. Halfway through the match, we just were like, let's grab a beer, go outside, and grill some food real quick. This match will be over soon enough. So I didn't even get to see who won it.
Yeah, that reminded me of the old school women's matches. Not like back in the day. I'm talking like...
not Trish Stratus and Lita matches.
No, I'm talking like how they were before the NXT girls came up.
Like Nikki Bella.
It was a bathroom break match.
Yeah. Intermission.
Brie Bella and the other divas of Team Total Divas went over. And, like, that was just kind of, that was just kind of it, really. Nothing too exciting happened. I think that might have been Brie Bella's last match.
Oh, is she quitting too?
I think so.
Because her sister's done?
Mm-hmm.
Probably wants to go make little goat babies.
Oh, that's what Daniel Bryan said on Twitter. He's just like... Now that my wife is done, we can focus on making babies and all that stuff. And I was just like, well, good for you, man.
Yeah.
It is, however, the first time since 2004 that WrestleMania has featured at least 2 women's matches on the card.
Yeah.
Even though one of them was on the kickoff.
Yeah. I don't think they count that, though. Like, well, this is a kickoff match.
They had... It says the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was on the kickoff show, but I don't think it was it?
No.
I don't think so. I'm looking at a list of
one
matches.
Of the later matches.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It happened after Shane and Taker, right?
I don't know if it happened after Shane and Taker. Because I think Shane and Taker, and then it was...
Might have been before.
Triple H.
Yeah, it might have been before.
Yeah.
It was later on.
I think it was right before. Like, I think they did the Battle Royale, the Women's Championship match, Shane and Taker. And
yeah, the Battle Royale was definitely not on the kickoff show, so we're not going to talk about that. What definitely was on the kickoff show was Kalisto defending against Ryback.
Who won that? I didn't get to see that match.
Kalisto retained.
Oh, well.
So, I mean, I
figured he would, because it's Ryback. And
I'm going to end up going off on kind of a tangent, because there's a lot about this pay-per-view that I did not fucking like. It pissed me off as a wrestling fan. I even tweeted at WWE. If it wasn't for the big highlight with Shane and The Undertaker, this would have been a big fucking stinker of a pay-per-view, and no one would remember anything about it.
Damn.
Not that I'm anyone important.
And did they reply?
No, I don't think they even saw it, because it's a huge company.
Fuck
but
yourself. We made millions.
When you get so pissed that you like legitimately tweet a company being like, what the fuck? Why am I paying for this?
Yeah.
So, but Kalisto went over and retained, which I didn't fucking understand, because they kind of like redid Ryback. He's got different ring attire. He's got like this kind of, in-betweener attitude where it's like, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm just Ryback.
Yeah.
Which is a very attitude era way of doing things, and I appreciated that, because now it's just open to interpretation. They're not, he's not interacting with the crowd in a forceful way to make them love him or hate him. He's just like, I'm just me. Like me or don't. I
think they're kind of using him like Jericho right now. They're just kind of doing it to push over the new guys, and like, well, Kalisto kind of needed the push. Ryback's one to actually do it, and it would be a damn good match.
It was a decent match. I still think that Ryback should have went over, because he hasn't had the U.S. title yet, and I think that he could have had a really good run with the title, because I seriously don't remember, other than him battling Alberto Del Rio, I don't remember Kalisto doing anything as the U.S. champ. And he's part of a tag team anyway. What the fuck does he have a singles title for? I get that Sin Cara was injured, but Sin Cara's back now.
Yeah.
So instead of having maybe Ryback walk into Mania with the title to defend against somebody else, they just kept it on Kalisto, had him retain the championship, and then had Sin Cara in the Intercontinental title match. Which, segue, that's the match that kicks off WrestleMania. The 7-man ladder match. Kevin Owens, Intercontinental champ, defending against Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, The Miz, and Stardust. Basically, they're throwing a shitload of mid-carders with Kevin Owens, and they're bringing up Sami Zayn from NXT, like, finally.
Yeah, it's about time. But then he got hurt.
Yeah. This was a outstanding match. I really liked it.
Did you notice what Stardust was wearing?
Yeah, Stardust came out with the polka dots on his ring attire.
Sure.
And the ladder as well had the polka dots on it, just kind of in memory of his dad. I thought that was really, a really cool way of doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, great match. Of course, when you have a Money in the Bank style match,
it's going to be good.
A couple of ladders are going to get broken, and that's definitely what happened. Who threw the? I think Kevin Owens threw Sin Cara onto Stardust.
Yes.
Through the ladder. I'm trying to remember. I don't have the stuff in front of me, guys. I'm sorry. But that was really good. And then The Miz, I thought The Miz, it was funny when The Miz thought he had that one, and then Ryder pushed him off. And but see, this kind of pissed me off too, because I was like, why Ryder? Just all of a sudden. Because I've been watching the 90-minute version of Raw. That's what I watch. I don't watch the whole thing. So is Ryder does he make a regular appearance on Raw? And I'm just not seeing it?
I think you're just not seeing it.
Because he hasn't been on the 90-minute version in a year or something crazy. And the last segment I remember him having on Raw, legitimately, was back when Kane first put the mask back on. And he had that program with Eve.
He doesn't do the headband anymore. He doesn't do the...
Right, he just looked like...
Yeah.
He just grew a beard out, and he's just like, I'm Zack Ryder.
Yeah. What's funny is he made a comment the other day where he said Daniel Bryant, the day he left, told him, if you want to be in Mania, you have to grow a beard. And he's like, well, grew a beard, now I'm in Mania.
So here's where I saw this going. If I was in charge, right? I would have had either Kevin Owens retain But I know that wouldn't have gone well with fans, because with so many different guys in the match, you want a new champion.
Yeah.
Right? Even though Kevin Owens just won it back.
From Dean Ambrose.
Also wanted to maybe have Sami Zayn win it.
Too early.
Right, but I'm getting to that.
No.
So the reason I wanted Sami Zayn to win it was because if Sami Zayn won it, it would have been a really cool moment, first of all, for him, because he's been on the indie circuit for 12 years or something like that, along with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
So it would just be like a cool thing. The reason why I don't think it would be too early was because KO walked in NXT champ and beat John Cena in his first match. And, and Cena was a U.S. champ at the time as well. So, if Cena would have had the title on the line that first match, KO would have won it. And no one would have been like, oh, it's too early, blah, blah, blah.
But you see what they've done with KO. The only title he's ever really gotten was the Intercontinental. It's like, that's the only title you're good for. There you go. I mean, he doesn't have a shot at the fucking World Heavyweight title. He doesn't have a shot at the U.S. title. He doesn't have a shot at any other fucking titles. He's not a tag team champion. It's just Intercontinental. He's had it 3 times?
I think so.
That's all he does. And I get tired of seeing him with it, so why do that to Sami Zayn?
I think what happened was they were expecting him, especially when he went over on Cena, his first, when he first debuted. I think they were expecting him to kind of catch on more with fans, and I guess he didn't. I love the guy. I love what he does. I love his mic work. I like his ring work. His finisher is awesome. Like, he's got all the stuff, and he has the X factor. But for some reason, the machine won't get behind him. It's like Daniel Bryan. It's like CM Punk. He's now a part of that group where CM Punk was, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan broke the mold. CM Punk did it on his own. The fans did it for Daniel Bryan. But with KO, it's like he didn't pop enough for them, like backstage. So now he's just like upper mid card is what he's considered.
Yeah.
And that's why he gets the title and all that jazz. But he's not down there with like social outcasts and
he's become the Miz.
Basically.
I mean,
but the Miz is the Miz now. So
yeah.
And what we're talking about is the Miz is Intercontinental Champion now.
But what I mean by he's become the Miz is that's the only good thing the Miz does anymore. He's just that champion.
At least the Miz held the world title and had a really successful.
Oh, I mean, he was good, but now he's just that guy.
Well, it's like Cena has the U.S. title and all that stuff now. It's not like
that's just because they don't want him to beat Flair's record.
Right.
I mean, really. Let's be honest.
So, but going back to Mania. The reason I was saying Sami Zayn could have won was because it would have, like, KO would have fucking cried about it and been like, I had to wrestle 7 guys or 6 guys and it's not fair, blah blah blah, and then we would see Sami Zayn versus KO, Intercontinental title, Extreme Rules match, and that would have been, and we still might see that, but it won't be for the Intercontinental title. I'm not saying it's going to take anything away from the match. But if it was an Intercontinental title match, fucking Extreme Rules, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't be a bad match.
But it just, like, I don't know, like, I guess they picked the time to give Zack Ryder his moment, and then a day later just took it away. Like,
well, Cena's also been pushing for Zack Ryder as well. Cena's a big Zack Ryder supporter.
It didn't make any sense to me then. It doesn't make any sense to me now. They should have, like, legitimately pushed him before, I don't know. Just mixed feelings about it. I understand what you mean. But moving on, we've got The New Day versus the League of Nations.
Oh my god. Them coming out of that Booty-O's box in Super Saiyan outfits, I almost crap my pants.
Handicap match, 3 versus 4. Now, this list says it was for the Tag Team Championship, but that is a fucking lie. It was a non-title match. How? Now, this is one of the parts where I get pissed off. How the fuck do you build a rivalry between two teams for months where one of them is really dominant over the other and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to where it looks like they're going to have one hell of a match and they don't put the title on the line? It's fucking WrestleMania. This is the culmination of a rivalry. You do not put the titles on the line. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Because Wade Barrett's contract was up, and if he was to win titles with that faction, he'd have to stay. That's why on Monday night they turned on him, because his contract's up. So he's probably going to be like, I'm done, da-da-da. But yeah, he's not going to be in the faction anymore, and you can't give him the titles if he's not going to be a part of that faction anymore. It would be like the Four Horsemen winning the titles and then Ric Flair going, well, I'm leaving, but I'm taking one of these titles because I helped earn it.
I was wondering why they just kind of randomly, it seemed really random that they turned on him.
Yeah, it's his contract's up and he wouldn't resign. He don't want to do it anymore.
Damn, we're not having Bad News Barrett no more?
Nope.
That's fucking sucks.
He may be in there for a couple more shows, but from what I've heard and read,
well, now I gotta continue the podcast now, but I gotta process that now when I'm done. Shit.
But yeah, it makes more sense now, doesn't it?
Well, maybe with Cesaro coming back.
I think they're gonna put him in the League of Nations.
Maybe.
But it would be real stupid to do because he's a good by himself kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like he'd get that pop.
Well, so is Sheamus.
Yeah.
But well,
right now everybody hates Sheamus, so he's good where he's at because everybody hates him. Like Cesaro,
Sheamus is good by himself. Rusev is pretty good by himself, pretty solid. That was kind of the whole point of the team, because they were just like, we're all really badass individuals. So like once we start to gel, we're unstoppable as a team.
Yeah, but I think putting Cesaro in there would actually hold him down a lot more, because right now with the fans having the pop that he does, like when he
we're
came
just
back
excited to see him too, because he's been gone for like 9 months or something.
He actually wrestles really good for being by himself. Like even when he was with Tyson Kidd, I'd rather watch him than have him with Tyson Kidd. It was just one of those, Tyson Kidd I don't give a shit about. It would kind of be like that. I think he would take away from them if you put him with them.
Unless he became like the leader or something.
And then Sheamus already acts like the leader, so there'd have to be a power struggle. One would turn on the other one. It would be a big storyline. It'd
be like a Rock Farouk Nation of Domination thing.
Exactly. I don't think they want to go down that way again. In my opinion, it wouldn't be the best for Cesaro's career or League of Nations.
So they have the match at Mania. League of Nations goes over. They don't win anything. There's no titles. There's they just win and that's it. Then on to the next one, Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose.
Hold on, you're missing out on one of the best parts of that match. League of Nations throws New Day out. Who walks out? Stone Cold, Mankind, Shawn Michaels.
Totally forgot about that part.
How do you forget about that part? 3 Texans.
Mick Foley's from Texas?
Technically. See, when his parents divorced, his dad was from Texas, so he moved back to Texas. Mick Foley would spend the summers with his dad, so technically Mick Foley is half Texan. That's one of the reasons he came out there.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a Legends thing.
Nope. It's all 3 of them were from Texas.
Okay. Because you got San Antonio, you got Victoria, and you got...
I can't remember where Mick Foley's dad lived, but Mick Foley's dad lived in Texas, and every summer Mick Foley would live with him. So he claims Texas as his other home.
Interesting.
Oh, which I'm fucking down with. But yeah, and then Stone Cold stunner to Xavier Woods.
Mm-hmm. Drank beer with everybody.
I like how he had to call for a beer like 12 times.
Well, that's what Stone Cold does. He's always... Yeah, you can never give Austin enough beer.
Well, he called for about 12 times before they finally threw him one because everybody wanted to see him dance, and he's like, I gotta drink before I do this shit.
So we have that happen, and then we move on to Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose.
Good match.
No holds barred, street fight. What are your thoughts?
You could tell when Brock got pissed. Just very beginning of it, just face got red, started sweating hardcore, and then the low blow happened. He has had a low blow in each pay-per-view for almost the last year. The guy is not having kids.
Not anymore, anyway.
Yeah, no mas.
I honestly thought that this was, aside from like the actual Brock Lesnar stuff, like the suplexes and all that stuff, I actually thought that this was a regurgitated no DQ match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for the title. Because think about it. Singapore Kane, Singapore Kane, Singapore Kane, Singapore Kane, Singapore Kane, shitload of chairs in the middle of the ring, finisher on the chairs, Ambrose gets pinned. About the same formula. And I was really upset that like those were the only two weapons used. It's a no-holds-barred street fight. Why are only two different weapons getting used?
Yeah, he
back in the day,
he
it
pulled
was
out
like,
Barbie, and Barbie didn't even get used.
Yeah.
He pulled out Charlotte Chainsaw. Didn't get used. At least have it off and powerbomb him on it or something. I mean, hell, throw it at him.
Ambrose received all these gifts and didn't use one of them.
Yeah. Like, it was a big thing for him to get them. And not one of them got swung.
He swung Barbie and
Missed,
and then that's what did it.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed. It was a really good match.
I mean, was there even blood?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to take anything away from the match, but it could have been so much. It had so much potential, and I feel like they just kind of pissed it away.
Yeah, for a Mania Extreme Rules street fight match, there should have been blood. There should have been thumbtacks.
Oh man, speaking of blood, here's an honorable mention. So NXT had a takeover event in Dallas on last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And the main event was Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor for the NXT title.
Oh, was it good?
They were going at it for the third time. It was really fucking good. Right in the beginning of the match, I guess Finn caught Joe with, it was like a part of his boot or something that just cut him wide open. And he was bleeding a lot.
Oh, wow.
And they had to like repeatedly stop the match so that the doc could, patch him up with that, whatever petroleum jelly or whatever it is, the glue.
Vaseline and stuff.
Yeah. Just hit him up with some glue and then use the jelly over it. They had to do that like 6 times because like Joe wouldn't stop the match because he's a pro. Like, he's been doing this a long time. He's not the kind of guy that's like, oh, stop the match, I'm bleeding. He's just like, I've been doing this shit for like a million years. Just let me fucking wrestle. So, but yeah, they were trying to wrestle. They were trying to go at it, and it was basically like Balor would beat him up, cause him to bleed again. They'd stop the match. They'd patch Joe up. Balor would beat the shit out of him again, make him bleed again. They'd stop the match, patch Joe up, and people were getting pissed. They were just like, just let him fight. And like, there was a point where Joe had been patched up so many times throughout the match, and he got fucking pissed. And they tried to stop the match again, and he shoved the doctor down.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, just like, I don't think they got it on audio, but like I read his lips, and it was just something like, leave me the fuck alone or something.
Damn.
And like, he was like legit, like it wasn't part of the show. He was legit trying to wrestle.
Yeah.
And they were just like, well, because you know how they are about blood now. They're just like, no blood on TV.
PG era.
And Joe's just like, I don't give a shit about the blood. Let me wrestle. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So he got a lot of respect for that. Like, maybe not from corporate, but
yeah, probably not from corporate,
but from the rest of the guys. Yeah, and that was a really, really good match. So I'm reading up on this street fight match that we just covered, and apparently, for more than a year, Dean Ambrose failed to win at any single pay-per-view event.
Wow.
Losing to rivals such as Bray Wyatt and Bad News Barrett. How did he have the Intercontinental title?
Raw.
He won it on Raw?
No. I don't think so. Maybe he won it on Fastlane from KO. Or did KO win it from him on Fastlane? I don't remember.
KO won it from him. I think.
It's been a minute.
In fact, for more than a year, he failed to win at any single pay-per-view event. Meanwhile, Brock Lesnar has been undefeated for almost 3 years.
That's horseshit. Brock Lesnar lost the last pay-per-view. Whoever's writing this article sucks.
Oh, yeah, the triple threat at Fastlane.
Yeah, that's not a win there, friend. So again, that's gotta know his shit.
Well, luckily for me, I'm only using it to remember all the different matches.
I mean, they already said that the Battle Royal was on the beginning.
Yeah.
So, we already know they're wrong.
Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch.
Dude, there was a nip slip.
Triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship.
Becky Lynch's titty popped out.
When?
Okay, you know when she jumps over the top rope to hit Charlotte? Is it?
I honestly skipped the fucking match.
She's laying on her back and her nip is just... and I was just like, well, time to pause for a moment. Everybody out of the room. My dreams have come true. The only thing that could be better in this pay-per-view is if The Rock comes in and takes his shirt off. And he did! But yeah, Becky Lynch. I was like, man, this match sucks. Her nip popped out, and I was like, whoa, great match.
Her nip was like...
I was like, oh, that's a titty.
Oh my god.
I was like, man, Jesus was bored with this match, and he was just like, there you go. And I was like, oh, ball. Homeboy knew.
I skipped that match. I saw...
It was totally a good match.
Like, I saw earlier on in the night, Lita unveiling the new title.
She looks like train wrecked shit. Just run over a horse shit. Lita put on a fucking pair of big pants and a nice little thong and get looking pretty again, because right now you look like ugly. You're the prettiest ugly girl I've ever seen.
It's fucking horrible. Anyway, I skipped the match. I saw her unveil the title, and I immediately knew that Charlotte was going to retain / win the new title.
You ever notice that the title looked like John Cena designed it? It's all fucking colorful and shit.
You ever notice that the title looks exactly like the fucking World Heavyweight title?
Oh yeah, I noticed that, but I'm just like, man, it looks like John Cena threw in some colors. Just like crayon. Like, here's a box of crayons. Go at it.
That's a lazy ass design.
Yeah.
Okay, that is literally what someone would do in the video game, where they would take the main title and just like change up the color and be like, this is my title now. Yeah. That's exactly what they fucking did with the women's title.
This is the Irish title. It's green.
And they're saying, like, for the first time in history, it's a WWE women's title.
No.
I'm pretty sure Trish Stratus held something called the Women's Championship.
Yeah. So did Lita.
Forever. Like, I hate that they don't fucking acknowledge that that title existed. That they're just like, for the first time ever, the first ever WWE women's title. It's like, really? You fucking liar?
Yeah, you're
what are you doing right
phony.
now? You're a big fat phony. But yeah, so
But yeah, the best part of that match was the nip slip. Because,
Charlotte versus Sasha Banks
She looks like a
versus
horse.
nip slip.
Yeah, she looks like a horse. Like, I don't even call her Charlotte anymore. I'm just like, hey, Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit's out here with the boss and nip slip.
So they do the match. Charlotte retains, obviously. It's the same fucking regurgitated bullshit that is in every one of her matches. Ric Flair interferes, causes them to lose. She goes over.
Yeah.
Then we get to what I consider to be the most important match of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. This one I'm actually going to put on the back burner for a minute and cover the Triple H versus Reigns match first, because honestly, no one gives a shit about that match. It's Triple H is the champ because he's the champ. He's Triple H and he's allowed to be like, I want to be the champ if I want to.
Yeah.
So he's the
Spoiler
champ.
alert, Roman Reigns wins, Triple H loses. Oh, by the way, Triple H's wife came out looking like Cher from a fucking 90s video. What the fuck was that all about? And the match pretty much just sucked big fat dicks. Now to the good match. Undertaker versus Shane.
Basically, yeah. And Roman Reigns is like the new John Cena. He's the person that no one fucking likes. No one wants him in the main event. But they don't give a shit because he's their guy. So they're just going to put the machine behind him, promote him.
And why did she come out looking like Cher?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it was like a mix of Cher and Zool from the Ghostbusters. Like, I didn't know if Triple H was coming out or Dan Aykroyd, if the fucking Proton Pack was gonna come out and start blasting people. The King of Kings or the Buster of Ghosts.
He had a bunch of weird skeleton motherfuckers coming out there.
Yeah.
I know that Triple H thinks skulls are cool. Skulls haven't been cool since like 2005.
You watch your mouth. I wear skull rings.
I'm talking about in a different. It's a different context. Like Sons of Anarchy is cool, right? And like the skull biker rings are still cool. But like, and the Misfit skull is cool.
Yeah.
But just like skulls for the sake of skulls. There's only a few things, right? Like maybe Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Sons of Anarchy. Something that's like an actual symbol, but not skull for the sake of having a skull.
Yeah, true.
That kind of shit hasn't been popular since 2005.
Yeah. Well, his crown mask is a skull, so.
Well, it's stupid.
Yeah, and why was she wearing it? Like, she took it off, and she was like, I'm Cher. And I was like, shit, you looked better when you had the mask on. Put it on. I was hoping she'd give a nip slip.
It's not...
I've been hoping for that since the 90s. And this is why I'm not on the podcast very much. I'm just mad that she got a breast reduction.
So now we've got Undertaker and Shane McMahon, the most important match of WrestleMania.
The best match of WrestleMania.
Yeah, the match. Like, if you're going to watch a match at Mania, this is the one you need to watch. It's... The stipulation is Hell in a Cell. If Undertaker loses, he is done with WrestleMania. He's done. Period. He's finished. If Shane wins, he gets control of Monday Night Raw. Shane came back about a month ago and was basically just like, I want control of Raw. Just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Not saying that it wasn't welcomed. You caught everyone by surprise.
Yeah, I would totally let him have it.
He has been gone from the company for about 8 years or something, 7 years. So no one expected him to show up, especially right before Mania. So he shows up and he's like, I want control of Raw. And Vince is just like, well, you're going to have to basically win the impossible match, which is Hell in a Cell against The Undertaker. And essentially, so Undertaker goes over. It's a clean win. There's nothing controversial about it except for why the fuck was this a storyline in the first place? Because when Shane came back and he said he was facing The Undertaker at Mania, pretty much everyone, including me, thought that Shane was going to win. It was going to be a hell of a match, and it was going to be amazing.
And it was going to let Undertaker retire.
But it was going to be Undertaker's last battle. It was going to be like this awesome, amazing fight. Some people thought that certain people were going to interfere because
Sting.
they wanted Shane in charge.
I thought Sting was going to interfere. Here's why. Because he was like, I'm retiring. It's not goodbye. See you later. And because Shane technically bought WCW and was trying to make it something right before it went under, I figured Sting would come out and be like, well, bam.
That'd be good.
I should write for WWE. Man, I should.
I should write for WWE too. Okay, so obviously, craziest highlight of the match. Shane climbs the top of the cell.
And I like how JBL talked it up. He's like, he's climbing the top of this 20-foot cell. He's at the top of this 20-something foot cell. He's jumping off of the 30-foot cell. Motherfucker, it's not raising up while he's on there. Like, goddamn, it's not just growing. He's on top of the 730-foot, 5,000-foot cell. JBL, I think you're a little bit of a fucking liar. Fuck out of here. Goddamn cell's been 20 feet. It's been 20 feet for a long time. You don't need to add fucking inches or feet or anything else to it.
If Undertaker would have moved, or if he would have stayed on the table, I mean, that would have been it. Like, it would have been over.
Yeah, Shane would have won.
For sure. The only thing that hit my mind when he jumped off the cell was Mankind going through the table. Remember when Undertaker threw Mankind off Hell in a Cell?
Oh, yeah.
And he went crashing through the table? That is, like, it's right in the same fucking category.
I guess I'm warped, because as soon as he jumped and went through the tables, my first reaction was, man, if this was one of the video games, he'd get back, climb his ass back up there and do it again.
He'd take like 10 seconds and then just be like, alright, I've got enough stamina.
Let's set up another table, put him on it, and do it again. Like, man, I am just warped.
So,
I've always wanted to see somebody climb up there with a chair and just jump down with a chair.
that'd be pretty insane.
It'd be murder. Let's not lie to each other.
Pretty much. He's impaling him with... Oh my god! He's bleeding all over us! He's cut in half!
You heard about Raven, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
I think it was Raven. He's in prison. Murder. Yeah, he was on the indie circuit. It was either Raven or Rhino. Rhino was the one that came back to WWE, right?
Yeah.
So it's Raven. Raven's in an indie circuit match. And backstage, one of the new guys called him a bitch. So they're in a scaffolding match. Raven puts one of the things, whatever you call them, bungee cords or whatever, around the guy's neck, throws him off, and it breaks the guy's neck. Raven climbs down the scaffolding, walks out of the arena, and leaves. They caught him in a bar. Cops ask him why he did it. He's like, motherfucker called me a bitch and wouldn't take his bump.
I gotta look that up later. I can't find anything on it right now. Man, that's pretty intense.
He just broke the guy's neck. Called me a bitch, wouldn't take his bump. The end.
Wow. Oh, man. So, going back to the Taker-Shane match, Taker goes over on Shane, and it really just kind of undid the whole storyline. Because now he won. He's going away for another year. Shane's gone, I guess. I don't know. He came out on Raw, and Vince was just like, "Oh yeah, Shane lost, blah blah blah. I'm still the chairman of the company, etc. etc."
But you get to run Raw.
And Shane came out and was just like, "I wanted to shake your hand like a man. You won." And he thanked everyone in the audience and was like, "Goodbye." And everyone was like, "No, don't go, don't go." And Vince comes back and he's like, "You're not gonna upstage me." He's like, "Let's see what you got then. So you can run Raw for tonight." And everyone was like, "Oh my god."
Grab your Cinnabons and your assholes, because tonight's going to be a good show. But mainly your assholes.
That's what they were doing. Shane, like, the highlight of Shane running Raw that night was, I'd say the Fatal 4-Way. Yeah.
Yeah. Hadn't seen one of them on Raw in a while.
AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. And then backstage, Sami Zayn was doing an interview about how he's waited a long time for this moment and he was going to make it count. And Owens ambushes him from behind, throws him through a table, and he's not medically cleared to compete by the time the Fatal 4-Way rolls around. So it's like, per Shane McMahon, your fourth opponent will now be this man,
Cesaro.
And Cesaro comes out.
Rips off his suit. I want a breakaway suit. Like, I just want to go to work.
That's what he did. He took the buttons off the thing and then he was just like,
yeah.
He was wearing his ring gear and I was just like,
damn.
Like, that's pretty awesome. That you can look that good in a good looking suit, and then it's really just like a breakaway suit.
Yeah. I was like, man, I want a breakaway suit. Just, hey, baby. Let's do this.
Bruce Almighty that shit up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Just
go commando in it. You're ready for sex anytime.
Yeah.
Man or woman.
Oh, God.
So anyway, everyone thought Cesaro. I think everyone thought Cesaro was gonna take it, but then AJ Styles won, and I was just like, yes, because now AJ Styles is gonna go 1-on-1 with the Great One's cousin.
Yeah, I got me an AJ Styles shirt. I was excited.
Well, cool thing is, right, I don't know if his gloves are available on WWE Shop yet, but I have a pair of his gloves from when he was in TNA.
Hell yeah.
Like, years ago. So, like, he comes out and does that thing with his gloves, with the hands.
Yeah.
And he shows the P1 sign, and I'm doing it at home with his old TNA gloves.
Then you go in the back and you play with your P1.
Yes. My 1P.
Yeah.
I'm first player, always.
There you go.
Player 1.
So how do you wash those gloves afterwards? Because they're going to get a little stiff.
Well, they're made out of material that just,
throw them in the washing machine?
It's like Rain-X on your windshield. Just beads it right off.
Oh, that's
like,
good.
Like never wet.
That's good.
Basically. So
kind of like my girlfriend, never wet.
Yeah.
It's good.
So I'm starting to lose it. I've been up since this morning. And I've been out doing stuff all day, and I'm yawning now.
And we're drinking.
Drank a little bit, yeah. A couple beers.
I've been combing my hair for the past 30 minutes. For no fucking reason.
The straightest fucking hair ever.
I come through and just be bald tomorrow and be like, I combed it off.
Combed it all off.
Scalp bleeding.
Part of your skull showing. They're like, ah! It's like, I've been combing my hair for 82 days. So, overall impression of Mania, I would give it 1 out of 5 stars.
1 out of 5? Man, I would give it like 4 out of 5.
I
Bodio's box saying Shane and Undertaker nip slip 4 out of 5 stars.
Shane jumping off the top of the saw was the only thing worth anything to me. Pretty much. Oh, okay. I'll give it 2 out of 5 stars. I didn't cover the Battle Royal. Totally forgot the Battle Royal. Baron Corbin finally fucking debuts and wins the Battle Royal. I was so fucking happy because not only did Baron Corbin debut and get called up to the main roster, it was during WrestleMania, and he won. And he won the fucking Battle Royal.
I like that guy.
I have been telling Matt for over a year now. I was like, there's a guy down in NXT called Baron Corbin, and when he debuts, if they use him properly, he will be a badass, and he's going to be awesome. You need to watch out for him. And he's like, okay. And fucking true to my word, Baron Corbin debuts, and then boom. They called up a bunch of people from NXT, actually. Enzo and Cass came on to Raw last night after the Dudleys had their match. Talked a bunch of shit to them. That was funny.
Still not a fan of Enzo and Cass.
I'm a fan of Cass, but I'm not a fan of Enzo. Or do I have that backwards? No, Enzo is the dude with the crazy hair and shit.
Yeah.
I like Big Cass. I don't like Enzo that much. He's kind of annoying with his shit. Like some of the stuff he says, I'm just like, like he's just like, you're so ugly, your tears go around the back of your head instead of down your face. How you doing?
Yeah,
that would be funny if you weren't fucking saying it like that.
Yeah. And then how you doing? Get out of here. Get
out of here. They should say that.
Get out of here. He's always calling himself an original gangster. Get out of here.
Yeah.
He reminds me of, what was it? Shane's henchman back in the 90s. Fucking, the Mean Street Posse.
Oh my god. Those fucking guys.
We're the Mean Street Posse, yo. Get out of here. With your little fake Italian accents and your fake New York accents, and get out of here.
Wasn't one of them Nunzio?
Yes.
I wonder what that guy's doing. And Apollo Crews got called up too. And he had a match with Tyler Breeze, and people were chanting like NXT like the whole fucking time.
It was a good match.
It's pretty good, yeah. So, man, so they called up Apollo Crews, Enzo and Cass, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin. Am I missing anybody?
I don't think so.
Who do you think they're going to call up next?
What's her name? Shit.
Bailey?
Yes, Bailey.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Well, she just lost the title too, so
yeah,
she's. And then I'd like to see Finn Balor go up there.
I think Balor said he was going to stick around for a little bit and like help elevate people.
Yeah.
In NXT, and I was like, damn, man, like, help yourself at the same time. Debut on Raw and establish yourself on Raw, and then help people.
Yeah.
Because if you're the top guy in NXT and you're like, this guy's good, that's awesome, that's really good. But if you're the top guy on Raw and you're the world heavyweight champ, and you go up to Vince and go, hey, this kid's got talent, he's gonna listen to what you have to say.
Yeah.
But speaking of listening, Roman Reigns came out with the title on Raw, and oh my god, the fucking boos. He's just like, oh, come on. You could barely hear him because there's so much fucking booing. They're trying to, like, boo him out the building. They're trying to hijack the show.
Did you see the meme that somebody made? It's like The Rock, and it's like, they do know he's my cousin, right?
I saw a sign that was really real. Not that it was imaginary, but, like...
it was really real.
No, it was like, I read it, and I was just like... Seriously, like, for real. It was a sign that said, stop muting our voices, we buy this.
Yeah.
It's true. We pay for the network, we pay for Hulu or whatever we're using to watch it. We pay for cable. Some people still do, apparently. So it's just... That really hit me because I was just like, yes... You need to listen to your audience. It was Roman Reigns' year, like 3 years ago, when
and then they screwed it up.
Yeah, he was the last man in the Rumble with Batista, and Batista threw him out. And like
Yeah.
everyone fucking, that was the year that Reigns broke the record too for most eliminations.
That was his year. And then they messed it up.
They fucked it up, and now nobody wants anything to do with him. Because they were just like, he's not ready, or whatever, so then it pissed people off, and then we found other heroes in like Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, stuff like that, and people lost interest in Roman Reigns, and they picked him up, and it was just like, because Roman Reigns was a mid-carder for a little bit, and they were eventually just like, nope, Roman Reigns is going to be the guy now, and no one's fucking having any of it. Even the small amount of people that cheered for him were like incredibly overpowered by all the boos. I'm going to cut that part out. I've got to head home and drop off my stuff, and then I'm heading to my parents' house. Visit them for a little bit tonight. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut the podcast off here. We're coming up on about an hour. I don't know what the finished product is going to be.
Because there was a lot of outtakes.
We're coming up on an hour of, like, recorded stuff. So, I'm hoping I can get it edited down to maybe 40 minutes. I think, because there's a good chunk of shit that doesn't need to be in there. So
there's some stuff.
I'm thinking maybe about 40 minutes. We'll see. But
everybody, y'all have fun. Go on WWE Network. Check out that nip slip.
It's at 3 minutes and 40. No.
How'd you know?
So, but yeah, thanks for being on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime, brother. It was fun.
Got to chat about Mania, and because we talk about this stuff every now and then, especially when there's a pay-per-view, we always got to talk about it because we seem to be the only two wrestling fans in the whole fucking town. So we got to talk about it. But
I'm starting to get more people involved in wrestling. They'll be like, "Hey, you want to come over?"
One at a time. Yeah.
Like my buddy's girlfriend, she's starting to get involved in this girl I've been hanging out with. I'm like, you wanna watch wrestling? And like the other day, she's like, Booty House. Doesn't know their name's New Day, but she knows Booty House. So we're getting there. We're starting to corrupt people.
One at a time.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Convert them over. Cut that part out.
Yeah,
too.
Another edit.
So I'm gonna get going before Mike says some more fucked up shit. You
May
guys,
the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Hey, have you seen Batman vs Superman yet?
Yes, I have.
By the way,
I'm gonna cut that part out too. You're being such a shit. Okay, you guys.
You can't even. That was funny.
You guys check out. Don't forget to check out my. Almost said check out my podcast. I'm a fucking idiot. Check out my vlogging channel. I'll put a link in the description. I was also on Mike's podcast. Mike also has his own podcast. I'll put a link in the description to that as well. It's on SoundCloud. You can check that out.
It actually got taken down.
Oh, it got taken down?
Yeah, SoundCloud cut off my stuff.
Damn.
Inactiveness.
Bastards.
Yeah, so I had to remake it all. So.
Shit.
Yeah, it sucked. I got on there the other day to listen to a couple of them, and I was like...
Just make a YouTube channel, because that's what I did.
Probably what I'll do.
I upload these on YouTube now. It's on its own YouTube channel because SoundCloud only gives you like 2 hours worth of free minutes to upload on, and then you have to like pay for a membership. It's like $5 a month.
I think maybe that's why they did it, because I had like 4 hours of stuff and no paid membership. So well,
yeah, it's retarded. So I was just like, you know what? For the sake of longevity and the fact that I can just fucking upload whenever I want, I'm just going to put it on its own YouTube channel. So I really appreciate you guys listening. Subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. And yeah, one more time, thanks for being on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for brother. Thanks.
Shooting the shit, having a couple of beers, and
I enjoyed it.
Some pizza and all that good stuff. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. So you guys be safe, be well, and until next time.
Laters.